Hello Libra, this is your extended reading. Um, so actually I've been sitting with this second part of the reading for a little bit because it has, I don't know what it is, what is going on with you Libra, but I feel like there is something that you have to sit with for a while just to sink into this energy, to read in between the lines, because the message is almost like it's all layered up. It has just a depth to it that it's not yet clear to me, but I think it will become clear as long as you devote your time, devote your attention and your focus to it. So let's start. We begin with the Eight of Pentacles, and this card, well, beyond the connotation of work, of something that is related to an action that is practical, something that you do, that you use your hands, that you use your body, you move your body to make something happen. It is really connected to the second card that came after, the Eight of Wands. And so these two eights, I was just as I was shuffling, right, I was just thinking, okay, we had a countdown on the first part and now we have two eights, right? And I was just thinking to myself, okay, are we going to have another eight? Is this something related to numbers? Is this something that is Libra seeing, these numbers counting down, or these repeating numbers? Is this a sign? Is this a message? Is there a message in these repeating numbers for Libra? And actually, the beautiful thing is that your message is so in between the lines, is so subtle, that I feel like even for you that are watching this video right now, I feel like you're going to have to rewatch it to sink in the message, little by little, because the way that I'm seeing these two, right, going from Pentacles to Wands, or from Earth to Fire, it's almost like all of the matter that you hold, all of the things that are manifested in your life, it's almost like this process of being taken back to their pure potential, right? It's almost like a dissolution. Dissolution is the best word to express what I'm seeing, because with this card that came next, okay, so I'm sorry, I'm a bit slow. As you may have seen in the first part, I was sick, so I'm just getting back to my usual self, right? And my voice is still a little bit odd, so bear with me. So the Wheel of Fortune came right after the Eight of Wands, and so this dissolution that is, taking place, it's almost like, the way that I saw this card, this Wheel of Fortune, is almost like a pot, a bowl. When we cook and we are so focused on what we're doing that all we see is this bowl. So this bowl is the frame of our mind. It's like all we see is this bowl. And the way that I'm seeing is that you were looking at this bowl like from up above, with such intention, with such focus, with such care, that it's almost like I'm seeing, because of the card that came next, it's just an addition that confirms to me what I've seen already with these 3 cards, but I'll show you in a bit. But what I was seeing is that you're taking these almost like ingredients, these matter, this organic matter, and putting it into a bowl or into a pan and turning on the fire, because the Temperance card came next. And this is what I was seeing, right? It's almost like you're mixing. It feels like you're cooking something. It feels like so the word that is coming through with this mixing and experimenting is alchemy, like the alchemy of your elements. It's almost like you're learning about the elements that you have at hand, not only what is material, but also what is in potential, right? The fire that burns, but also that heats, and that is essential for cooking, for instance. And so I'm just seeing you pouring so delicately as an experimentation. It's almost like you're trying out, different elements, and you're being so careful and so attentive. It's almost like this has become your world, even for a split second, or maybe you're alive, maybe you are a chef, who knows, but it's almost like you are so focused in what you're doing in this alchemy, in this alchemical process, that nothing else matters, right? And this is really powerful. I feel like this is finally what these three big forces, these powerful universal energies at play for, on your behalf, but behind the scenes. It's almost like this intuitive knowledge that they were giving you, that finally here you are daring to experiment, to mix the elements. And the beautiful thing is that, well, and this I have to tell you a little bit of a story about myself. So back in 2020, I had this vision of these, it was like a geometry that I didn't actually know what it meant at the time. I saw it in my dreams, and then I drew it on a paper, and it was the symbol of an 8, as an 8, and then the infinite symbol, right, which is the 8 on the horizontal. And the way that I saw, because these 2 8s were very remarkable too. So sorry about that. Okay. So these 2 8s are here. I don't know if you're going to see what I mean, but if we see this first 8 here, and then the second 8 is here. I hope you see it too, but so what you're doing, Libra, it's you're perfecting a process of mixing what is manifested, what is material, with something that is pure potential, which is, earth and fire, what is matter, and what is the element of transformation of this matter, right? So what I'm getting with these 3 cards is that you are becoming an alchemist, but the most beautiful thing of this message actually is that here you're learning how to mix, you know, this earth element and the fire element, right? And then on the first part, all we had was a lot of water, right? Which is not your natural element, but is what is surrounding you. And your element is actually the air, which is missing from the second part. Because I feel like the air element here is you. You are this intelligence that is, you know, learning how to manipulate, how to create, how to mix these elements in such perfection, in such balance, with patience. With patience, right? Which was something that was already in your first part of the reading. But I feel like with this last line of your reading, I feel like there is an element that you're missing, and it is connected to you, yourself. But let's go slowly. The Sun, the Page of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. So let's start with the Sun. If you remember on the first part, the second line was all major arcana, right? And the second line was you surrounded by all of these cups. And here, on this second part, the second line was almost all major arcana beside this fire element of the Eight of Wands, right? And interestingly enough, this third major arcana is starting your second line. What I mean by that is that this is the piece that is missing from your recipe that you're mixing and learning how to, you know, integrate them. And so the element that is missing for you is sunshine. And it's not sunshine for whatever you're putting inside here, right? It's sunshine for yourself. Sunshine as this new inspiration, right? Which could be a new adventure, right? Because I feel like you have been so concentrated in what you're doing that perhaps you haven't left your house in a while, you haven't seen, you know, the light of day for a while. So whatever is outside that is this missing piece, you know, this sunlight, this beam of light that could strike you and could be, you know, this shock, but it's also a shock of inspiration, of adventure, of newness, of this missing element that could, you know, perfect this recipe that you're developing. And you're just learning how to manipulate it so well that for it to be perfect, you need to go out. And not only that, remember I told you in your first part, you had all of these cups as this countdown, right? But we didn't reach the Ace of Cups in the first part. We got to the Two of Cups, which to me is symbolizing that the way that this ends or reaches this finish line is not by you finding love for yourself. I should say that properly because it's also here, right? it's not only that, yes, maybe a relationship is this final destination, is this ending of the countdown, but you need 2 cups to mix whatever you're creating, for this alchemy to happen, right? With this Wheel of Fortune, you need 2 cups, right? For it to balance perfectly. As I'm doing this is the 8, right? For this motion to begin flowing, for this water to begin flowing, you need 2 cups, right? And the beautiful thing is that I feel like once you, because to get to this point of learning and learning in your recipe, you know, alchemizing the elements of your life, of yourself, of your inner being, yes, you had to go out of your way. You had to have courage, but you were also being pushed, you know, maybe unaware, but you were. And now what this sun is inviting you is to go outside and explore the outdoors, you know, breathe the air, and also receive this source of light, right, to add to this mix. And when you do, the beautiful thing that happens is that whatever was circling you, all of these cups in the first part, there was this countdown for this perfect balance, because these 2 cups are also, you know, finding the perfect balance of you and the elements at hand, you and another, right? It expands, right? It grows. Whatever you hold inside, it's almost like the recipe is ready, right? And it's almost like, so the way the word, the phrase that I'm getting here is that it is the recipe of love, right? And you have to dare to go out on an adventure, to experience, to share this recipe, right? It's so beautiful. It's really powerful. You have a lot to gain here, right? And you have a lot to share with all of this knowledge. And not only that, so I'm just being reminded of something that came through when I was pulling, and this card came along. So the recipe of love, this is so gorgeous. This is actually really emotional. The recipe of love is forgiveness. And this is what you're alchemizing. This is actually, this is the inspiration that you're going to feel in your body, because it feels like here you've been alone, on your own, you know, experimenting with all of these elements, but you hold, you know, the secret sauce of this recipe, which is forgiveness, and it must be shared. And the reason I'm saying that is because on the bottom of the deck we have the Hermit. So I feel like you've been inside your tent, inside your house, inside your room, inside your lab, meditating, learning, processing, perfecting, you know, this mixing and matching and joining the elements and balancing, you know. But I feel like it's time to come out of your tent, come out of this lonely place, right? Because you have a lot to share. And you deserve to be seen, right? So let's finish your reading with a rune, right? Oh, the moon. This is so beautiful because now we have the sun and the moon, right? So, and this is so gorgeous because the sun and the moon together, they do this dance of the cosmos, you know, of the day and night, of the masculine and the feminine, of these two polar opposites. But, you know, when we think of the new moon, these two energies are brought together and they hold hands. And then on the full moon, they are far apart, but the sun is shining and, you know, illuminating the moon, so we see the moon fully. And even though they are apart, we're able to see this beauty in the sky, in the night sky. So I feel like it's a dance. It's a dance of the cosmos. It's a dance of the elements. Okay. So it's the dance of the tides. You know, all of these, of course, because of the first part, we were talking about these waves. And so you're finally learning to navigate through these waves, right? Through these cycles. So this is so beautiful. So don't forget, go out, find some sunshine, but also know that, you know, the light of the moon can also give you insights through your intuition. So this is so beautiful. I love it. You're the alchemist, Libra. Yeah, so happy Libra season. I hope you enjoy your season. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Yeah, I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for being here with me. Bye.